Don't look away. Don't look away. Okay, so I had this experience today and I needed to tell you guys about it because it was so unbelievable to me. So, Lisa Joe, your essential oil girl. We're not going to talk about essential oils today, or we're not going to talk about Hashimoto's. I got a whole bunch of stuff to like to talk about on these here videos. This one is if you see something, say something. I was actually at um, Walmart today. I was taking back a shirt. Now, y'all gonna laugh, but it was a $4 shirt. I won't talk about it. It was extra large. It would not fit my extra large frame. It was like a little, anyway, not the point of this video. What happened was there was this little old man in front of me in line, right? And I'm 65, so I can say little old man. He was probably 10 years older. And he was very anxious and just, you could tell he was out of sorts and he was on the phone. Now, I have been watching these videos and I'm going to post a link underneath for you guys to watch. And just because I had educated myself on what to look for as far as scammers go, I was kind of in tune to what was going on. And I realized that he went up to the counter. He was very flustered, this older gentleman on the phone. And he says, he asked the girl working, because she was kind of acting weird too, because I think she knew what was going on, but didn't want to say anything. Y'all. So he's very flustered, and he kept, he and I, he said, do you have gift cards? And the lady said, yes, we have iPhone and we have something else, something else, iPhone and something else. And so he said, okay. So then he walked away, and I went and I started my thing, and he's just over here just stirring, right? And I finally went over to him and I said, sir, do you know that person on the phone? And he's like, what, so I was like, okay. So I backed off, and then he went back up to the counter and he says, I need 3 $500 gift certificates for iPhone. And the girl was like, gonna give them to him, right? And she's like, well, we only have hundreds and fifties. So he got all befuddled even more, and he stepped over here. A minute was stewing, and I went over and I said, sir, you're being scammed. You need to get off the phone right this minute. You need to get off the phone. And he did not believe me. He did not believe me. And what is going on is the scammers have these older people that, like me, that are, that's outside. That's outside. Somebody's racing up down the road. That's okay. That are not very IT friendly, right? And I have no idea what possessed this gentleman to get out of his house, because he had to get in his car. They have him on the phone. I've been watching about the scams, like I said. So what happens is there's something comes up on your email saying you owe money, or there's a refund or something, and you got to go. Important stuff, very official looking stuff, right? Stuff that makes sense to us older people that don't really know what's going on. And so I don't know what triggered him, but what they do is they turn around and they said, okay, well, we can take care of this. Let me give you this number and call me back on this number. So they have you on the cell phone, right? And somehow, and they keep these people on the phone for hours sometimes, these older folks, because they're willing to spend all day with them to get their money. And some of them are so glad, I guess, with the company. And then they ask the stupidest questions, which I would be doing. I totally get that. Oh my God, y'all, this was so awful. So he walked away because I said he was scammed. And then a lady behind me in line came up and she said, oh my gosh, he's getting scammed. And she said, that happened to my grandmother. And she told me her story, because now apparently AI with their technology can mimic the voice. If you've ever done a video online, like I do all the time, they can mimic your voice, use that voice to call your loved one, say, I've got a little bit of a cold, but this is going on. I need surgery on something. And it just freaks these grandparents out because they don't know. They know they want to help. And that happened to her grandmother. So she went over to the guy while he's still stewing, right? And she said, sir, you need to get off the phone. That's a scam. And he still doubted us. It was terrifying to watch. I felt so helpless. My adrenals were cortisol level was like, because I was like, how do you stop something like this? So he finally walked off, I guess, because we were irritating him and had him flustered. And he was telling the guys, yeah, these people are telling me this is a scam. And from what I saw on the video, I'm going to post the link, like I said. This guy's awesome. He goes after scammers. But he was so flustered, he started walking away. So the little girl around the counter, all this happened, within 5 minutes worth of time. The little girl behind the counter, she was there by herself, and she said, let me go. And so she went around and caught him, and she stopped him and made sure he wasn't, made sure he was off the phone, right? And so we were like, oh, breathe, sigh of relief, et cetera, et cetera. So I was I felt so helpless, and I'm like, we need to educate our older folks. How can we do this? So I'm looking for ideas of how we can get this message out, because he drove his car to the Walmart to buy gift cards to these total strangers on the phone that were holding him captive somehow. And he was so discombobulated. What they say is what happens is the fight or flight kicks in, and they cannot do anything but go. They don't have any reasoning powers whenever you're in that kind of situation. So I followed him out after I checked out. I tracked him down in the parking lot, and he was walking down the middle of where the cars were. He was walking down the middle of the road, and he was just so confused. He looked like he just went through a war. I mean, he was so confused and befuddled. And he walked, and I said, sir, and he turned around, real fast, anyway. And I went up to him and said, this is a scam. It's really a thing. This is what they're doing now. They have people going out and buying gift cards, and it's a scam. And you need to not answer your phone anymore, because they've already called him back. They've called him twice since he left the store. I said, they're going to continue to call you. Maybe go over to the police station and don't delete the number, but tell them what's going on and let them write it down. I don't know who to contact. I don't know who to tell people to contact when this happens. Can you call do you go to the police station and say this number is, a scam, and I'm pretty sure? And then, so hopefully he did that. I don't know, but I do know that I walked away from this situation thinking, if I hadn't have said something, this man was going to be out $1,500. And I imagine $1,500 is a lot of money for this gentleman, just based on judgment right out the gate. So the point of this video is pay attention to what's going around you, especially when you're in a store. If you see older people just totally in a frenzy and confused, maybe over at the gift cards or something, because they have them go to the store and get gift cards. The reason for the gift cards is because they have you read out, after you buy them, they have you read off the number. They can use that gift card, and that money is gone. There's no way to trace that money. It's gone. So that's why they want to be paid in gift cards. So point of this video, again, I want to know how we can help older people. What can we do? What can we do? But as individuals, as you as a person, if you're watching this, if you have an older parent or know somebody, because he was just a nice little guy, he had no clue that he was being scammed. He thought he was doing something right. And people lose their entire savings this way, guys. Their life nest egg is disappearing because they don't know any better. How can we teach these people? Take time out of your life. If you see something going on with an older person, gently have a conversation with them and try to get them off the phone and explain to them that there's a likely chance this is a scam. 90% of the time, these people are from India, by the way. So they have that very strong accent. But the older generation always assumes the best in people. For some reason, they trust people. And with this situation, and I personally have looked in the back on my trash emails. I've got so many things there: shopping, digging, hunting, poking. to try to get me to click on stuff. Never ever click on anything in your email if you don't know what the heck it might be. Even if it looks official. If it looks official, go to the official site and reach out there. Don't ever, because these were official looking. Whenever I looked at my official looking like your antivirus on your computer, right? It's one of them was like it's expired. I'm like, I don't think I have that on my computer. So I don't know. So do I click on it? If I click on it, then you click on something else. They are in your computer. They have you. They have you. You end up calling. They figure out, get into your computer, get into your bank account. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare, and it's going on all over the place. Sorry, I had to get this out. And I hope somebody that will share this with a loved one to keep them from making a dreadful, regretful, because they always afterwards feel so stupid, you know? So I'm going to put a link into this guy that I've been following, and he kind of goes through a couple different scenarios. So watch this particular not email, YouTube video, and kind of get some ideas of how they can scam people. All right, guys, I'm looking for feedback on this because it was very disturbing to me. It was a very disturbing way to end my lovely date night with my husband because I was just felt so helpless. But on the other hand, I feel good about being able to stop him, but I don't know what he did after. He could have left. He could have went to a different store and just continued on. He doesn't know me from Adam, but some reason he trusts some guy on the phone telling him he's got to pay this money. So, all right. That's all I got. I just had to, y'all, if you see something, say something, do something. We got the power. It's time, especially to watch out for our older folks because times are crazy right now. And it takes so little for somebody that notices something and just gently say, do you know the person on the phone that's asking you for these gift cards? For starters, and the guy on the phone is going to tell them don't talk to anybody because they're going to try to keep you from doing this type thing. It's crazy. It's all right. Hope you got value from this email. I know I did just by being able to decompress because it was so unbelievable. I knew what was going on, but most people don't. So make yourself aware. Again, I'm posting the guy's YouTube link to his video in here so you can watch it because it's very informative, and I love following him because he can't do anything. He's not official. He sends the information to the police, but after that he doesn't know what happens to him, but he does a lot of good with what he does. So all right, I'm through. Y'all have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon. Love you. Bye. Boop.